How are you all doing today? My name is AntiWitstand and welcome to the first video on my channel. I have not uploaded a proper video on this channel before, and I've had this account for a few years now, so this is a weird first video to be starting off with. But into this video I'm going to be discussing and addressing the controversy behind whether Zofia should have her withstand ability or not, and I'm going to be discussing and explaining points from both arguments, both sides. And I'm also going to be explaining the pros and cons behind her ability, and then I'm also going to address my own personal opinion to why she should or should not have it. So for those of you who are familiar with the game and play the game, you will know that Zofia, along with her sister Ella, both have alternate abilities which they can trigger when in the downed state. As I'm showing you right now in this terrorist hunt, Zofia's ability allows her to get straight back up from the down position and carry on fighting. However, you will notice immediately the apparent disadvantage that Zofia has upon getting back up. You can see here that her health bar is only capping at 5 HP upon getting back up, with no way to increase it. This ultimately means that anything can kill her in one hit, including Valkyrie's black eye cameras. And yes, I also mean throwing the black eye cameras. Okay, starting with the AntiWitstand supporters, we have opinions like she is already one of the most influential operators on attack. Adding this on top of her already stacked kit is plain and simply unnecessary. I can see where this point is coming from because Zofia already has access to one of the most versatile assault rifles in the game, and also has access to the light machine gun that has the most ammo capacity in the game as well, that being the LMGE and the assault rifle being the M762. Next, I'm going to read a point out for people who support Zofia keeping the withstand mechanic. They say that Doc shouldn't have the ability to revive himself either if Zofia isn't allowed to have it. The difference is Doc actually has utility and it comes at a cost of a stim shot, whereas Zofia doesn't have any utility to support her ability being able to revive herself. Doc can revive himself and teammates around him and give himself 75 HP upon doing so.
Enemy overwatch has this area.
Quotation marks, it rarely ever happens, so it doesn't matter. I agree with this point, as I believe that, you know, it's not a consistent thing that Zofia can revive herself, and it shouldn't really be a threat. The success chance of a player being able to revive themselves and keep playing is very slim, even for Doc players. Another point that people make as well for the anti-withstand supporters is they suggest that it adds an unnecessary layer of depth, which is a good point really, because it's like Thermite only reviving his teammates to 20 HP or 10 HP because he doesn't know how to wrap bandages properly, you know, given evidence of his hands. It adds an unnecessary layer of depth. Now, I want to stress this across here, that a lot of people who want withstand taken away from Zofia isn't because it's overpowered or too powerful and that they can't deal with it, it's because it's unnecessary and doesn't make sense, which I agree with here as well, because it adds, you know, if Zofia has the ability to have withstand, you know, because she's a mother and she's resilient, why can't other operators like Ash have that, who are also resilient? So we're coming to the verdict now. Pro withstand supporters would say that Zofia should be able to keep her withstand ability because she's the only one on attack that really has that ability to counteract to Doc on defense, but those who are against the withstand ability would say that that should be left to medical operators, and instead Zofia's withstand ability should be taken away and Thinker should be given the ability to revive herself instead as a counter to Doc's ability. Well, I say counter lightly, I don't mean countering Doc's ability, I mean as an attacking version of Doc, as Thinker's ability is heavily underpowered and is not used enough or used properly enough in situations where it is needed. Oh, and finally, before we get to my my personal opinion, I'd also note a couple of things about Zofia's Withstand as well. 100% success rate would come from Terrorist Hunt, so if you're playing Zofia on Terrorist Hunt, there's a 100% chance that you'll be able to succeed Withstand without being finished off, because the terrorists are cruel bastards who would leave you to die in your own pool of blood, then finish you off, because, you know, they're terrorists. They like suffering. Just as you saw in the clip before, I was able to get up and knife an enemy, succeeding in killing him. 99% of situations that I find myself personally in, I don't find Withstand useful, or I don't find myself able to use it, so sometimes I just do not use it at all. And other times, if you've got teammates around you, it's better to wait for your team to revive you, and only Withstand if you know you're not going to be revived.
Nope.
3 hostiles remaining.
We're going to go for the one tap on the last guy. Because we good. Because we gaming.
Hello there.
Op 4 eliminated.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to my opinion, and I'm also going to clarify my opinion as well, explain it a bit simpler. So, the question is, do I personally think that Zofia should lose her withstand ability? And I personally say no, because this is a game where there are laser gates and EMP grenades and drones that can hover on ceilings and fire sonic bursts. So I don't find it at all that weird in a competitive game that something like a withstand ability for self-revive exists. However, I do also agree with the opposite opinions that would go against mine and say, well, Zofia can have it, then everybody else can have it, you know? So I welcome to all opinions. Let me know down below what you personally think. Don't forget to subscribe and like and hit the notifications button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my second video. I am Thor, but I'm not as good looking. Hehe, bonk.
Hello there.
Bonk. You also get a bonk.
All friendlies have been eliminated.